Yeah, you're playing with the flu,
I was dead with the flu for like a week before the Australian Open started.
and it's hot down there.
I was dying. I
Yeah.
thought I was dying.
So I got to ask you about Serena.
Sure.
We all know what's happened. What was your take on that?
My take is two things. One, two wrongs don't make a right, and I think both her and the umpire were wrong. But there has to be an understanding of that when you're competing for 2 weeks, you are emotionally, physically, just everything exhausted because it's that much energy is being drained out of you to play for 2 weeks and be around all these people, have your game face on every time you go in, do the interviews. Maybe there's some outside influences going on. And so what is actually normal of her to do is to break a racket, to basically light a fire under herself. And I think the coaching call from the umpire was probably the wrong call. I thought the coaching thing was so mundane that it really wasn't a big deal, which counts as a warning. And then the breaking the racket went into a point. And what I think she didn't understand or realize was that she actually received a warning for the coaching. So that's what set her off for post point. And then I don't think the umpire did anything to diffuse the situation. And unfortunately, that just robbed everyone of potentially a really good final and all the ticket holders a really good match. And that's not what an umpire's job is not to influence a match. His job is to call the score, make sure everyone's playing fair, and basically make sure everything's going kosher. And he influenced a match in his decisions.
Yeah, I hate it when any kind of official becomes an outcome determinative factor in a match. I don't care if baseball, football, anything.
That's why I like playing last 2 minutes or the last quarter of any game. Let them play. This is especially playoffs or anything like that, NBA championships. You don't see the ticky-tack fouls being called.
Yeah.
And just let them play. There's high emotions going on, and athletes are living on a high emotion to be able to compete to that extent.
However, she didn't let it go. She just kept on and on and on. And I do believe this because I was there the night before. I wasn't there that day, but I was there the night before. And it is totally possible that she did not hear and understand that she had gotten a warning.
Yes.
In fact, I thought that she thought they had resolved it.
That's
because
what I
she
thought.
went up and said, I don't cheat. I don't need to cheat. And he said, I get it. They had a civil, good exchange. And I thought, he said, okay, gotcha. I thought she thought that deal's over.
I agree.
So I thought she thought when she broke the racket, that was the warning.
Correct. That's what I think she was on about. But because she went on and wouldn't let it go, I think that's his fault for not diffusing the situation of, instead of antagonizing and keeping on poking a situation and stoking the fire, he could have probably figured out a better way of, all right, let's resolve this in a way of, I'm right, you're wrong, we're not going to agree to disagree, whatever it ends up happening. But I felt like he was more stoking the fire than actually calming the situation down.
I think he knew what the environment was. I think he could have called her over and said, listen, I don't know if you know what's going on here, but I'm just telling you, as a courtesy here, you need to shut up or there's going to be a problem. So I'm just telling you, heads up.
It is so loud in Ash Stadium that you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything from someone this close as you and I are is saying something, let alone when you're at the baseline, which is 20 odd yards away and he's in an umpire chair. Yeah. You can't hear anything that's happening. Even if they're calling the score on the microphone, you hardly hear that. It's just so loud in there.
I will say this, I've never seen her do that when she's winning.
No, there's no reason to. You're winning. What's going wrong? it could be her way of lighting a fire under herself and taking and maybe throwing her opponent off her game, to basically, realize what you're doing. How many times do you see a person realize they're about to beat a top player and then completely choke?
Yeah.
So maybe it was to slow down the game, slow down and get Naomi to realize she's about to win the U.S. Open and beat Serena in the process.